Hello my friends, it's Gabriel with the lasthuntsman channel here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Tops Knives Lite Trekker. Let's get to it. Actually, before we get to it, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. So let's get testing out the Tops Knives Lite Trekker. Alright, so we have the Tops Knives Lite Trekker. Let's get into some technical specs. Overall, it's 8 inches and 3/4, so 8 and 3/4 of an inch long. Its blade length is 4 1/4 inch, so pretty decent little blade. Thickness is 1/8 inch thick. It's 1095 carbon steel, you know, Tops Knives, that's kind of their main line, which I really like, by the way. It has obviously micarta grips, kind of has some liners in there. Of course it has the black traction coating. It does come with a kydex sheath. However, I set mine up a little differently. This is the sheath that it comes with. Now it had like this little swivel clip on there. I personally didn't really care for that. Some people really like it, but that's not really my thing. For EDC, I kind of like just a belt loop, so I set it up for that, which I'll obviously show how I carry that. Now, one of the really neat things about this knife is, just like the name implies, the Lite Trekker, this knife is really light to carry. That's part of the reason why I like EDCing it, is because you don't even hardly notice it on your side. Overall weight is only 7.7 ounces. Just the knife itself is 5.1 ounces, and it's made in the United States and designed by Leo Espinoza and Joe Flowers. I hope I pronounced those names right. Now, something else to get into here is, let's just show a comparative option, something that people might be a little more familiar with. There is the SC3, which obviously that's a lot of people really follows and likes SE. We'll just kind of compare these at multiple different angles. So this is gonna be close to the same size as an SE3. However, one of the things that I kind of like about it better than the SE3 is I like the blade length a little bit better. It has just a little bit more blade length, has a lot more broader blade than the SE3. You can kind of overlap them here and you can clearly see that there's a much more broader blade there. And it doesn't have the finger choil, which, you know, that's kind of a hit and miss thing. With the Tops Knives Lite Trekker here, it's not going to do a lot of like heavy batoning. However, it being you know, good solid little chunk of 1095 and it being made by Tops and all that, I actually don't mind doing some batoning with it. I know people has kind of a hit and miss thing with batoning, but personally, if a knife can't handle batoning, I don't really want that knife, considering that there are so many great knives that can do it all day long. Now, of course, you're going to scuff up your traction coating and all that good stuff, but that just adds character. Alright, so another task I'm going to try with the Tops Knives Lite Trekker is I'm going to just do some slicing, just kind of get a feel for the handle and such. Now, one of the things that I actually like about this knife is the handle on it is surprisingly comfortable. It, you know, has a decent little guard on there, has kind of a slight top guard, which some people might not like, but it's so like minute that you don't really notice it. But this knife just glides right through that wood right there. This knife is also a full flat grind, which I'm a big fan of full flat grinds. I generally gravitate towards either really high saber grinds or full flat grinds is kind of my preference overall. And that being said, this knife actually handles doing skinning, processing. I processed a deer with it actually, so you know, that being said, if you're like a hunter or something and you want to like get one of these to pack around for your deer hunting knife, that would, or just hunting knife in general, this is actually a great knife for that. I'm not going to show too much for YouTube purposes, but the Tops Lite Trekker here can also be a pretty good deer hunting knife. It's about that perfect hunting camp size that you can do some serious game cleaning too. So here I just have a little bit of some cheese and some deer jerky. I'm going to just do just a little bit of slicing here with this knife just to kind of show. Some deer jerky. And I can make just fine little slices off of this deer jerky here. Now, when I say deer jerky, it's more of kind of a misnomer. It's more of like a meat stick than it is like straight up jerky, because it's actually still kind of squishy and meaty and such. So it's not all crunchy like a lot of jerky. So I should correct that. It's more of deer, just meat sticks, I guess. But yeah, this thing actually, he is great for that. It would process food really great if you're looking for like, you know, just a general camp size EDC fixed blade, which, you know, that's kind of why I like it a lot. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. Alright, so another task I'm going to try with the Tops Knives Lite Trekker here is I'm going to just do some notch making. This knife, I think one of its very, very good strong suits is just a good little practical work knife. Oh yeah, that's damn near perfect. Here, let me give that one more tap. There we go. Little square knot. Let's do a couple more notches here. Oops, popped that whole piece off. No big deal. Not quite sure what wood this is, but it seems kind of odd to work with a little bit compared to my cedar that I usually work with. And of course, Tops doesn't really use a 90-degree spine, so you know, you can put your finger on there all day long. I know some people complain about 90-degree spines because of that. I personally never really had that issue. Now, I got farmer hands, so but you can do some decent work with notch making. So the Tops Knives Lite Trekker here, it's obviously it's a small knife. It's, you know, not much bigger than an SE3. So that being said, you're not really going to do a lot of chopping with this knife. However, you know, if you have to, you can do some light little delimbing and such. But it's going to be very minimal, just because it's a 4-inch knife that's 1/8 inch thick. So, like, it's not really going to be like a heavy-duty chopper by no means. Now, like I said, the Tops Knives Lite Trekker is not a chopping knife whatsoever. However, it is a durable enough knife that if you really had to, you can use it to do the batoning method. to get through like a small tree, and it would have to be pretty small. But you can do it. Now, I personally am not a big fan of doing this, but it is something that's good to test out. And you can do it if you need to. Well, my friends, I've been testing out and carrying the Tops Knives Lite Trekker, and my overall thoughts and impressions of it are that I really like this knife. It's a very light, handy little knife, and I plan on keeping this knife for a long time. I really enjoy carrying it, EDCing it, carrying it out to the woods, using it for a game processing knife and such. If there's one thing that I think would make it better, I would actually like to see like a hunter version of this, like a huntsman version, maybe like with orange G10 and, you know, either a plain clear coated blade or even like maybe OD green blade or something. That would be pretty cool. So with all that being said, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Helps me out, and also be prepared both physically and spiritually. God bless. Carry on.